Hello everyone. Today I'm doing the reading for the lovely sign of Taurus. Taurus, if you are watching this, you can be a Taurus sun, which is the sign you identify with. Like if I said to you, what sign are you? You would say to me, I'm a Taurus. That's your sun sign. But you could also have Taurus in your moon, your Venus, your rising, and it will make this relevant as well. So you don't necessarily only have to watch your sun sign. You can watch a variety of different signs. But for the practices of these readings, if you've got Taurus in your chart, sometimes the reading will resonate with you. And like I say to people, sometimes I've had people say to me, wow, that reading really resonated, but it was for Aquarius. And I think, well, perhaps you have Aquarius in your chart somewhere where it's really relevant. If you're unsure of what planets you have, please make sure you go and Google yourself a birth chart or a natal chart. And then what you can do is put in the details of your birth and find out where all the planets were when you were born. Now, sometimes people will say to me, but I don't know what time I was born at. You can still get a really accurate chart without your time of birth. However, it will be difficult to get your ascendant or your rising if you don't have the time of your birth. But let's face it, the chart will still be pretty good regardless. So you can download a report. Some of those places give you a free report, which means that you can go and actually look at how does that Taurus component influence parts of your life. All right, we're going to use the Modern Witch Tarot for the reading today. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I do a daily reading for the collective, which means that, you know, the readings I do during the day before I do these can relate to what you're going through at this time as well. Not just the signs, and that's for the collective. So it's pretty much, if you watch a reading and it feels like it's yours, then it's worth watching. Sometimes the readings may not resonate thoroughly, but there may be information in there that spirit is leading you to. So I do say to you, if you feel drawn to a reading, do watch it, because you may take away some gems from that reading. If you do want a personal reading with me, I'm only available by one email address. Make sure it's spelt correctly. It is the AussieGoddess@gmail.com. The Aussie Goddess, or one word. And I do offer like face-to-face readings via Zoom or phone, and also I do recorded readings if you just got a couple of questions you want to ask. All right. Oh, I don't like that. The Seven of Swords just jumped straight out at me. So obviously there's something with this reading that may hit home with somebody. All right. Okay, so we're starting off with the Knight of Cups. So there's some sort of offer coming towards you. Now, the Knight of Cups can be an offer of love, because the cup is obviously representative of love. But often the cup can mean something that you love, that not necessarily a love offer. So it could be that somebody's offering for you to go to a wedding. They may be talking to you about an opportunity coming your way. Usually it's something creative. It's the sort of thing where somebody may invite you to go to a concert, to see a band. But the Knights take action. So whoever this is doing something with you in person. It can be a date. It can be a romantic offer. Absolutely. It can be somebody declaring love for you, for example. But it will be different for different people. We have a King of Swords here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So somebody coming forward definitely to make an offer to you here. I do feel sometimes with the King of Swords, this can be something legal as well. So keep in mind that it may be some sort of legal offer. It can sometimes be just something to do with the job. It can be like, this could be somebody, it's something as simple as somebody coming in to offer you something just to help you move forward on your pathway. All right. I have a feeling I've seen these cards together like this week, but I can't remember what sign it was for. So you might want to go back and have a look at the signs if you're dealing with a particular sign. This is conflict. I like to look at the card behind it because it is the Strength card. So this to me is the energy of going backwards and forwards in your own mind, or backwards and forwards with a particular person. So it could be, I don't feel like it's with this person. No, I feel like you could be dealing with something where you are trying to work out if you want to move forward, if you want to call it a day. But there seems to be work you're going through here. Are you worried about somebody being toxic? It looks like a past energy coming through, Virgo energy coming through here, the High Priestess coming with the Nine of Pentacles. All right, to me it feels like somebody's coming to offer you something, but you're not really sure whether you're in a place to take that offer or not. I feel like there's a really strong indication that you don't trust what you're being offered, especially with that Devil energy, but it could be a Capricorn. It doesn't feel that way, not with the Seven of Swords flipping out on me in the beginning. So Taurus, I feel like somebody's coming forward to make an offer to you. I don't think you're in the right place to accept. I'm not sure that you don't trust the person with that Five of Wands there, but I also feel it might be a little bit like the what's cracking energy today, where you are really not trusting where this is coming from. But you may be taking time out for yourself in the meantime. Now, sometimes it can be if we've gone through a journey of meeting toxic people that we have a concern that something new or somebody new may be the same. So we might not feel ready to accept an offer before we get to know them better. So to me, this is about taking time out, really sort of sitting back and seeing what's going on, maybe just offering something small in the meantime, like a friendship or just slow dating, but you're not ready to take that big leap with somebody. So let's have a look why. I do have the Queen of Swords coming through, so I love that energy with the Eight of Cups. You've done a lot of work on yourself here. Now, you could be dealing with a Taurus, you could be cross-watching, and you could have done the work in your own time, in your own life. What does that mean? Sometimes with the work, when I say that, people say, what do you mean by that? If you've gone through life discovering that you have certain patterns that are not healthy, if, for example, you've noticed that you've got addictions, codependency, people pleasing, all of those sort of things, and you start to realize that that actually is disadvantaging you. So what happens is you start to really get triggered by things. The universe seems to make you more and more triggered the more aware you become, until you go, I need to work on this. I need to stop doing whatever it is I'm doing and find a better way of doing things. So, for example, we'll take people pleasing. People pleasing is a trauma response from childhood. It was something you were taught to do. So you keep doing things for people, but they don't appreciate you. They don't give anything in return, because very often you're being pulled in by narcissistic people who just want to dry your energy out, or toxic people who really don't care about you. So what can happen is you can keep repeating. So somebody says, oh, I have a really good example. I never said no to anybody. I used to be an absolute doormat. And I remember living next to this girl who would come in all the time and ask me to look after her children. And my children were a little bit older. Her children were a bit younger. But I would always say yes. And there was one time where she just went off and left me with the children for a few days. And I remember thinking, I need to say no, I need to say no, I need to say no, but I just didn't know how to. It was so much easier to avoid conflict, and that's what we do. So once you realize that the conflict is actually worth it, if you say no to somebody, usually they just back straight off, which I didn't realize happened. I was just always scared of the fight or the repercussions of it. And this to me is something you've discovered, because you are quite gladly making a decision here to walk away from things that do not serve you. You are making a decision to leave behind a life that is emotionally unfulfilling. So maybe you've been dating, you maybe be dating people who seem to be, as I always say, same person, different face. Maybe you started to realize there's a pattern. You're drawing people to you who are, negative or spiteful or mean or, I don't know, impatient. Or wanting but not wanting to give back. There may be that energy of non-reciprocal relationships, and I think you're starting to realize with that Queen of Swords that you can speak up and walk away from things now, but I feel like it's taken a little bit of time for you to understand how to do that. All right, so we have the Knight of Swords coming through and the Queen of Cups. See, people can see who you are. They can see your energy. And especially if they're toxic or, as I said, narcissistic sort of people who are really only interested in their own needs. And they don't really care about you, but you serve a purpose for them. And that Queen of Cups can be somebody who is easily manipulated because she sees things through her emotions. She doesn't look through things logically, which means that, you know, if somebody comes to you and goes, oh, I'm in a terrible way, I don't have any money, you'll be pulling money out of your pocket. And it may not be the truth from that person. So I feel like this person is taking advantage of you. Yeah, we have the Five of Pentacles. Maybe it's happened before, but you keep going back and giving them more. And you're not, this is definitely feeling to me like, wow, a lot of messages coming through here. Taurus, there's a really serious lesson you need to learn here. And it is about not being abused. But I feel like you could be, or you could be dealing with a family member more so, because there is a feeling here, especially with that Ten of Pentacles, that maybe this is about somebody that you believe has the right to do that. You need to change your thinking. You've been socialized by somebody to believe that you always have to help. If you help somebody, it should be because you want to, not because somebody's making you feel bad about it. All right, let's keep going. All right, so we have the Death card coming through here with the Knight of Wands and Temperance. Just going to pop another card on Temperance. I've been doing this a little bit lately, but it's time to move on. It is time to move on. You need to get past this energy of accepting people because you feel that you need to help. You feel like, to me, like I'm talking to people with a codependency problem. It could be something you've learned from childhood, but I feel like I'm speaking to some people who may be in a family situation where somebody is bleeding you all the time. Now, this means they have a lot of control over you because of the way they treat you. So they may be deliberately pulling you down or pulling you apart here in order to almost get you to do or to be their servant. Now, if this is a relationship, and we are talking about somebody here making an offer, it could be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but it could also be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So there's quite a big range here. But what I want to say to you, if somebody's coming forward to make you an offer, I feel like this time around you may have done some work that you can see things differently because you're putting an end to something here. I see that you've been working on yourself, and I feel like you've been working either on understanding people's energy, and this is past energy that's coming through for you. So it could be that you have had some sort of connection with this person in the past, but perhaps since you've been separated, you started to realize something, you know, and sometimes we are so smitten or so much in love with a person, we don't want to see their flaws or faults. If you're awakened and you're starting to understand that, you will question. You will question. And I feel like sometimes you just need to be able to say to people, hey, that's not the right way to treat me. And if you do that, I'm going to turn my back on you. So absolutely feeling here, Taurus, that you've learned some sort of lesson. I feel like I may be talking to some people, it's a family member, could be a friend that you've built a very strong relationship with, but I'm actually feeling like I'm talking to people who may have had some sort of connection with somebody in the past and they've resurfaced. You may have done the work and you may see through things this time that you've not seen through before. So I'm saying to you, you need to open your eyes, be the observer. Like, watch what they're doing, see it. Don't just get into the energy of accepting because it's something you've always done. This time around, you need to be really clear on what those manipulative energies are. You don't always see it, you know. I can remember years ago, like looking at a person thinking, there's something just not quite right in this relationship. There's something just a little bit off kilter for me. Until I realized that was the really clever manipulation. And this person was really playing on my low self-esteem or my low energy. So they would do it in such a way that I didn't see it. So I'd say, good example, they would say to me, I think it's better that you use powder when you're doing the washing. And I would say, but I like using liquid. And they say, oh, I never use liquid. I think powder is so much better. So I'd go and start using powder. I didn't even see it as manipulation. I just thought that maybe I got it wrong. And that's just a simplified example, but that is how they do it. They make you feel bad about what you've chosen. I feel like here, because the door to romance has come out, I feel like here with card 33, this may be about relationships. Maybe it's somebody new that is coming in to offer a relationship to you, but maybe your experiences in the past have not been so good with people. Maybe you're taking it much easier this time and ensuring that you're not dealing with somebody manipulative. That's why I would say take it slow, because sometimes we're just accepting and generous and we just keep accepting people at face value, and sometimes they don't have our best interests at heart. But because it's the door to romance, this is new beginnings in love. So I'm feeling like here that maybe it's just you trying to sort through your past stuff and trying to understand that where you're feeling this energy, maybe you just want to make sure the other person is actually feeling the same way and that they're not manipulating you. Thanks, Taurus. Gemini will be up tomorrow. Thank you.